we going up and coming down. Girls just wanna have fun. We turning up. Someone wrote a runs, someone pour a cup. Cause tonight we going up and coming down. It's gonna be a while. Someone jump up in the crowd, throw your hands up, go wild.
All right, guys. Well, yeah, guys, in terms of, I mean, for the most part, what we were saying just about how we're perceived by the Black community, I feel like before we could really even deep dive into that, I feel like we should kind of just look at ourselves in the mirror in a way and say, like, how are we perceived against each other? Like, you know, the Black on, I don't have the percentages in front of me. I don't have any stats in front of me. But in terms of just like the Black on Black crime, you know, we're killing each other at a higher rate than like white people are killing or whatever other races are killing. So I'm pretty sure that's a fact. And if I'm wrong, I apologize for being wrong. I'll say that. But like, it's more prevalent that we're killing each other before someone else is killing us. So I'll again start off with you, Jules. And if I said anything ignorant, I apologize there to anyone that may be offended. But it's a truth. Honestly, it's my truth. I believe I can. Jules, can I speak for you there? Can I tag Jules? Can I tag along with you? Like, I feel like that.
I mean, you'll have people saying, oh, there's Asian on Asian crime.
Yeah, thank you.
White on white crime.
Exactly. Yeah.
There's, you know what I'm saying? But I guess from the reason why I would say it, because I was just broadcasted more, I guess. Mm-hmm. You feel me? Like, and if sometimes it feels like it's our norm for the killing to be happening in the Black community a lot. And I mean, but if you really want to get technical with it, people are gonna hit you with historical stuff and saying, go way back. And we've been put in this place and it's been like this, blame the system and all that. But for me, the way how I see it, I 100% understand everybody else who want to hit history and talk about all this. But I feel like it's 2022. We've come this far. We are very knowledgeable at this point. We've been fighting together for these things. Mm-hmm. And my thing is, in the hood and stuff like that, and you know, people grow up from a tough neighborhood, in tough neighborhoods, based on how the system separated the resources. I'm 100% aware of how that progress happened, how Black people didn't have enough in the neighborhoods. And some of them grew up just seeing gangsters and gangs and joining a gang to feel safe, to have a father figure, to, you know what I'm saying, to hustle. That's how this program was born. Yeah, to come out. I understand how that worked. I was also brought up in the hood area, not like a hood area, but in like not a suburb area where like everything was just like perfect peachy. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's different. And I also seen different documentaries of that going. But what I'm getting at is that you know better now. We should be doing better as a people. Even the people in the hood at some point, you're like, bro, why are you still like? When you hear people trying to stop this Bloods and Crips and thinking, like, come together, let's make this that one. It stems from there because we have to at some point do that. And then another part is you see all the celebrity, most of the celebrities, like rappers mainly, saying that they can't live in their hood when they make it. To me, it's like, why does it have to be like that? Because now that these people made it in the hood and made it out, they should be able to live there to give back to to give back to that hood and build it up. I mean, but they don't even feel safe no more. But there's way more I'm sure people are going to backlash and say, oh, the system this, da-da-da-da, the white people da-da-da. I get it. I'm just saying though.
You're speaking fast.
I get it. But we're here now. It's like, bro, I'm about to go shoot you because, oh, you got this.
Thank you.
Relax. Let's get this money and stop crying, wearing RIP shirts for each other over nonsense. Just over nonsense.
Preaching. Yes, sir.
That's all. That's just all. Just over nonsense. Like, you should be doing stuff when you're actually, your life is at stake, or when it's really needed, but not for. We have a whole other enemy, the world. Like, the world already. Black people. So I'm saying, like, the world is already against us. You have people who are preaching to their kids that we're not safe enough the right people to be around the moment our skin look like this. So with that being said,
that's real.
Our people who just switch it up a little bit and it could transition, because we could be the most. That's why the white people fear us. A lot of them would be hearing it. They don't want to see Black people getting it, understanding it, and becoming one and uniting and moving up. And getting up and becoming somebody. They don't want to be overtaken when I don't see no overtaken when we're just gonna be standing on our own too. That's all. Yeah. But you can take the floor too. That's
Yeah,
how
for
I
sure,
feel
for
about
sure.
that, man.
Jules, before I let you go, a couple of things. First, just a little to just add on what you said. Like we've heard the horror stories of like the guys that do try to give back to their communities or still live in their communities that have like, you know, come back and they get killed. Like someone like, unfortunately, it sucks to say things like, look at someone like Nipsey Hussle. Like he went back, like he always wanted to give back to his community, killed by one of his own, like someone that was like, someone that he knew, you know. It's crazy. Like we know all of these stories, we've heard all of these stories. It's crazy. I mean, even just in my life, like it's happened to me in DC, it's happened to me in Boston. I've shared these things with you where it's just like they're just looking at you, I'll blow your head off. Like I'm like, what? Like you don't even know me. Like
your very
I
own
have
people.
Your very own, like I have a family, like I have a family, I have people in this world that love me. It's like you want to blow me off this earth for what? For your own, like what? For what? And it's just like, I know that's why I tee that up to then to hand off to Jules, where it's just like, why? What is that feeling? Where is it coming from? Where does all this stem from? Is what I'm asking.
Very well said by City and Chopin. Very well said by both of y'all. I agree with 110% with both of y'all what y'all saying. So before I get to where it stems from, in my opinion, we as Black people, my biggest problem with Black people, my people, I'm not gonna say Black people, my people, our people. The biggest problem is that we're screaming about unity, we're screaming about this and that, we're screaming about injustice, we're screaming about this and that, but yet we attack each other, we sleep with each other's spouses, we rob each other, we mug each other.
I mean, wait, that part though, because there's the difference between human nature stuff than the whole Black thing, because sleep with each other, people, anybody, that's just...
Well, the sleeping but the robbing part, he had a point there.
Yeah,
Yeah, I mean, yeah.
I know what you're saying. I know we know what you're coming along, what you're saying, basically.
Yeah, I'm just saying that my people, I think we can do better in terms of like, if we're talking about we have to come together, we're talking about, you know, Queen Latifah, we're talking about UNITY back in 92, we're talking about all this, we're screaming this for decades. Why are we sleeping with each other's spouses? Why are we robbing each other? Why are we going on social media degrading each other? Why are we doing this? And I say that all to say this, it stems, in my opinion, it stems all the way back from slavery. When we were on the plantations, where we were on the slave ships coming from Africa, our own country that we didn't want to be bothered. We didn't know anything about the Americas. We didn't know anything about Europe. We didn't know anything about any other continents, you know, except for the African scholars who knew, you know, what there's 6 or 7 other continents out there, right? When we were taken on the slave ships and we were chained, you know, in nights and days, and being on the plantations, just working for the slave master, I'm telling you, there's a DNA, there's a gene then passed on until the generations following after that has just, there's like a fear, you know. Even Ghostface Killer said it in a rhyme. He said, you know, the devil planted fear inside of the Black baby. I think there's some type of gene that we fear not only the white man, but we fear each other. We fear each other, and we this is I feel like this is the cause that why there's Black on Black crime, there's robberies, the shootings, the killings, because we fear each other. Why we fear each other? I can only point it into to slavery and the gene from that, because it's just madness and craziness. How can I attack my own brother and sister that I say, you know what? We need to come together. One day we need to come together. Next thing we know, Channel 5 News reporting that there's been a shooting, a robbery at so and so. Why am I taking from my sister brother? Why am I killing my sister brother? Why? I can only point it into the slavery. Just like, again, not all Black people do this. Not all Black people. Not even most. Not even half. Only some Black people do this. And you know, I'm not perfect too. I've definitely committed wrong against my own people, brother and sister. You know what I'm saying? But I'm saying that there's from slavery, from the inception of slavery, it really messed up the spirit, more so than the mind, and more so than the physical. It really messed up the spirit of Black people.
And this is the mind too, though.
Yeah. Maybe it is mental.
Both, yeah.
I'll put the mental thing there. I think the mental is deep in there too. The way
I
you
agree.
the mindset of certain things, and you know what I'm saying, like,
Yeah.
But I mean, I feel what you're saying, and also due to the viewers, with none of this, because people are quick to jump to conclusion and say, "Oh, so you're trying to say nobody's against black, nobody's trying to target, nobody's saying none of this thing against the black people." We're just saying because that's our people. We're talking about with basically just tackling the fact of the world. Basically, that's how I feel. The world, especially after the shooting that just happened. I'm gonna tap on. I don't know if it was gonna go down there.
Yeah.
The shooting that just happened. When
Prayers
it happened,
to Buffalo, New York.
I just sat back and I was like, damn, this is another one. And it's only and dude said he's trying to
take out. I don't remember the word verbatim too, but he
word for word, but something about regaining the white power or something like that.
Crazy, and that's a white.
In my head, I'm like, I never think about having a bigger power than a white person. I just want to succeed in life.
We're just minding our own business. We're trying to just get to the best point that we could get to our highest potential.
Right, and you're over here trying to fight for, and you're shooting, and also too, I almost sent you guys this yesterday. But I was watching, and there was a little girl who was hiding in the freezer, because when the shooting was happening, her dad and mom had, because the dude came in the back shooting towards where the milk carton and stuff was at, which is around where the freezer and stuff usually will be at. And I guess they hit the girl in the freezer thing until the shooting stopped or whatnot. I don't know what the parents hit at, but they hit her in one of those, the small ones, put her inside and closed it up. And it's like why you have other races just for the point blank, like Armaya when she came on the show. When Armaya came on the show, what did she tell us? Where's she from again?
Indonesia.
She's from Indonesia. Armaya told us, she said, hey, don't get offended, but for some of the questions I'm going to ask you guys, but in my country, people view black people as bad and everything else is a see, but I want them to see, because I guess she has a nice little
platform. Yeah, for sure. She does. Shout out Armaya.
Yeah, and she said that she wanted to show her people back there that she can hang with some black people, black men, and not feel harmed and actually have a good time.
We're humans, man. We're all human, man. We all bleed red. We all bleed the same color.
You hear this, that. Then you have the system is at us. Then you have the system, the police. I'm not blaming all of it, but I'm saying the system go out there, which the police is system lying on. And
I mean, it is not even blaming. It's a truth.
And just throwing it out there. You see all that's already thrown at us. And then now we're in 2022, where we're more educated, more aware, and all that. Like some of us in the hood should just that's where I feel like it comes from. Like you know what I'm saying? It just comes from in and it comes up out to the light. Let's just do this.
Yeah.
And be this.
Yeah, for sure.
And all this stuff means this. Not
I mean, sometimes. Again, like very well said from both of you guys. Very well said.
Very well said.
I mean, Jules, you had a great you made a lot of great points. I want to I guess kind of play devil's advocate, but not really. Because this is actually like a legit question. It's like, now I'm gonna ask it like straight up, like when do you just let that go? We didn't experience the slavery. Our generation, we didn't experience it. It's like, when is it time? I'm asking you the question straight up. I don't know if you have an answer or not, and then let me just talk a little bit about myself. I never had any animosity against anybody, against any race. Like, I'm born into this world. It's like, I love anybody. Like, color was a lot. I just saw people. I'm sure like there's some white people in this world, they're just like, you stay away. That's a bad person. If he has dark skin, he's bad. But just in terms, like, I grew up in like a super diverse area where everyone was just mixed together, and it was just normal to me from a young age. But it just turned, it wasn't until I got older, and even after college, where it was just more so when you're in the real world and you're like, holy shit, like this person really feels the type of way about me because of my fucking skin tone, which was just, which is fucking wild. I mean, obviously it's the truth, and it's something, and I'm sure other shit, happened to me growing up that I just, kind of maybe ignored or didn't see. But like, I mean, I lived a pretty happy childhood, and I was friends with people of all races, but mainly just to keep it on topic, mostly it's just talking about like how long, I don't even want to use that, say it's an excuse, because not an excuse, it's actually a real thing, but how long can you like say the after effects of slavery? The years are going to keep going, the decades are going to keep going, we're going to get further and further. We're already far as hell away from, they gave us a fucking holiday, they gave us Juneteenth, and like they're trying to make, like, society is trying to change. It's happening very slowly, but like there's awareness and progress that's being made, and it's just more of just like, when is it time to stop using that after effects of slavery as not even I don't like using the word excuse, but like as a thing of just like, this is why we act the way we act. This is why we kill each other. This is why we fight each other in the middle of a parking lot in McDonald's. This is why we fight each other. Like it's ridiculous, man.
So we won't know where we're going if we don't know where we came from. So I think we can use I know you didn't use the word excuse. I know you didn't, but we have to use.
Not an excuse at all.
Yeah, it's not an excuse. Yeah, but I knew what you're trying to say. But we have to, because that's a part of the country we live in currently.
It was built
that
on
is a part of it. Yeah. Like Black people built the country we live in, and that is a part of. America has a dark history. Yo, you know what? I was just watching baseball the other day, and I was thinking to myself, yo, do they really have a Negro League?
Crazy.
I really like, because I know I think it was last year, Rob Manfred now combined the stats of Negro League players.
Yeah, that's crazy. That's big, yeah.
So I'm thinking to myself, like, is this real? Like, am I in Boondocks? Like, really? We really had Negro Leagues?
Shout out to Boondocks, man.
That show taught me a lot. So, like, as much as we would try to be like, you know what? Like, this is a new generation. This is a new millennium. This is new, this and this. You can't, in my opinion, I don't think you can separate
erase it.
Anything.
I mean, of course you can't erase it.
Yeah, you can't erase it. But to me, I don't think, I personally would not want Black people to forget that, hey, we were once getting beaten.
Never forget.
Chained.
But we have to stop hurting each other. We have to stop taking each other out.
That's affecting slavery, though.
That's my main thing. Like, yeah, people, I mean, I don't even want to make this an everybody thing. Black people, we go through trauma every day from just the point we leave our house. Like, we're basically targeted. There's people, we're just walking down the street. There's people that will take their time to go on the other side of this fucking sidewalk just because they're nervous to walk. Like, we could be wearing a suit. Fucking Stephen A. Smith could be walking down the sidewalk and someone will still run away. Like, they don't even know who they won't know. It's crazy just because of the fucking skin tone.
Dude, me, City, because of our hair, and maybe even Chopay because of his hair, we can't even, there's some businesses in this country, mind you, this is 2022, that can literally say, well, because of your Afrocentric hairstyle, you cannot be hired here.
Wait, ain't that?
And you can sue that. You can.
I'm sorry. They can't do that.
They can do it in their head and not hire you.
Yeah,
they don't have to say it.
In their head.
They can think that shit and not give you the job, but they can't literally say. If it came out, you could sue their asses.
That's the reason. Yeah, but that's the progress. Some of the progress we're talking about. It sucks. We have to fight for it. You know what I'm saying? It sucks. We have to fight for it.
Yeah.
But when you say stuff like there's not seeing no changes and stuff, those are some of the things you will point out, because
now it's changing.
For it. Yes,
that part is changing.
You shouldn't have to, but that part has changed.
Right.
And like you put the word, and so has said awareness. I came into it more in those environments. They're more aware about the words that come out of their mouth nowadays compared to when you talk about the newscast or the reporter who said that stuff on air. It's different now. So there is different progress who's coming to changes.
For sure.
Yeah,
for sure. I remember being 18, 19 in my early 20s. If I had like a job interview, so my mom would make sure you cut your hair, make sure your hair is not long, have a straight fade. I'm like, I would even say, no, this isn't the 1950s. Like, if they're not going to hire me for, who I am, then I don't even want to work for them. Like, the way my hair looks, like, of course I'll get a haircut, but if I want to have a fade, if my hair is longer, it is what it is. I'm like, now, if like that's the reason, I don't want to work for that person. There's not a part of me that would want to, and I hope other people would be that way.
Individuality, man.
Yeah, for sure. And like, I feel like that's like what you just touched on, Jules. I feel like that's been more accepted now in today's day and age. But like, we have a lot of turmoil just in our community alone. And again, I said I want to touch on that before anything. Like, even like, I know like we say it as jokes and Twitter is funny, but like the light skin, dark skin thing, like that's a big thing. And I think like that's also in other communities too, like Indian communities, like
colorism?
Colorism to like a lesser extent. Like, I don't want to get deep. I don't want to get too deep in it, because like I know like we all say it as like jokes and fun. I don't want to make it into a deep topic, but like sometimes like sometimes that that does play a factor, and it definitely did when we were younger. It's just like, just think, it's just even like the jokes still too, and it's just like, oh, you're African. Oh, you're too dark skinned. Oh, it's like, what? It's like, I'm a fucking person. It's fun. It's always been funny to me. And like now, of course, like all that shit's not really that big of a deal anymore. Like we all joke about it, like we say, but I just always feel like there's like something like inside or like, oh, you can't date him, it's too dark, or like it's just like, not saying like that's happened to any of us
right?
particularly, like because it hasn't happened to me, but I'm just saying like that's like a real thing where it's just like it's just so fucking weird to me.
So from my personal experience,
Yeah.
I feel like dark darker skinned black women, African women have it way more difficult than
Yeah. I'm glad you
darker
touched on
skinned
that.
black men.
Mm-hmm.
Because growing up, yeah, obviously, I would have my black friends like, oh yeah, whatever, like, oh yeah, you black as hell, da 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 da, right? Cool. But again, I feel like dark skinned men now, from what I see and observe and evaluate, is like they're more accepted than dark skinned women. Yo,
You have to do so much more.
you have to do so much more. Thank you. Look at like, music. Look at the hip hop videos. All I'm seeing is women like European type hair, European type hair, straight hair, not kinky, not nappy. How African people hair is it's naturally kinky and nappy, and it's
Mm-hmm.
beautiful. But we've tried to Europeanize it, where it's like, oh yeah, you have to make it straight. Like I've always seen that, and I was always like, like with the wigs
Crazy.
and stuff. I've always like, you know what I'm saying? And then I don't see many dark skinned women, models,
Featured in
supermodels,
video, yeah.
Hip hop video stars. I don't see that. I don't see video vixens. I don't see that. I just see mixed women, lighter tone, lighter hue women, and it's like, yo, that stuff has to change, man. Yes, women who are mixed and on lighter hue, of course, they're beautiful, but the reality
You want to see
is,
that variety, man.
yeah, that's what I'm saying. I want to see that variety. That's the reality. That's the world we
And
live in.
yeah, and like yeah, for sure.
And we're not seeing it, and it needs to
Yeah,
change. So to answer your question, I feel like men who are of darker skin, they don't have it
that's
nearly
hard.
as bad.
I mean, we
as hard
got
as women.
joked on. I mean, me and
Of
I think
course,
Jules can relate. Like, and it was just fun
oh,
and game.
absolutely.
You fire back at whoever says he joked before, but like, what the fuck? But just in terms of I want to shout out artists like Wale that does like that does feature dark skinned women.
Yeah,
The majority he does all the time. So definitely want to make that like a thing. But I
you
mean,
saying it's a
it's
sickness
crazy.
within itself. You're attacking each other over skin tone. It's a sickness. Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
yeah, it is.
After
It
effects
is.
of slavery.
It's crazy.
After effects of slavery. When the lighter skinned I can't say the word on here, but the lighter skinned slave, right?
Mm-hmm.
He was the one that got to sleep in the house,
Yep.
while the
Yep.
darker skinned
Yeah.
slaves
Yeah.
had to
I'm
sleep in
not
the
laughing at the,
sheds.
but yeah, for sure.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, he was the house. He was
You're
the
right. I
house,
used to.
House, yeah, you know
and
what?
he was, and the other ones was the field.
Mm-hmm.
Again,
Isn't that crazy?
slavery. This all goes back to slavery. This is the root of it. This is the root of it. This is why some of our people, I'm sorry, some of our people are messed up.
So
This is the
lost.
root.
So lost, man.
So lost. Yeah, yeah.
City, do you feel like you have some after effects of slavery in just like your day to day life? Do you go on thinking like, oh, this is this way because like, do you
I
you
don't
feel
think
that
City
kind
fully
of?
subscribes to
Yeah, that's why I'm just asking him.
yeah,
I
yeah,
just want to
yeah.
get his opinion.
I think society throws that at me
Absolutely,
as a black
I agree.
person compared to me going there and thinking that
Mm-hmm.
because of
Nice.
of slavery I should be
I'm the
thinking
same
or
way.
doing like this. I feel like society is throwing that whatever at me, but for me
Yeah.
growing up, I'm
Growing up,
just
you
I'm
did
just
it.
obviously
Yeah.
I'm a black man. You know what I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying? So I'm not thinking like, oh, dang.
We didn't think
They
that
said
at
that
all growing up.
black, yeah.
It was
So
until
like,
our
and
adulthood.
also too, right. And that's another part too. I think it's also too where you grow up at. Because
Yep.
if you really grew up in the South, when I went to school in the South, I heard more stories and I saw more of this stuff day to day. But you know what I'm saying, a day to day and that was 2011 when I went to North Carolina A&T.
Mm-hmm.
And in the South, depending on certain parts you go to, even though I went to HBCU, but leaving out of my little areas that I was comfortable with and
Crazy.
going outside more, you would see I saw the racism. Like I literally saw it and it happened in my face.
Crazy.
And me coming from Massachusetts, like you said, school, like Massachusetts, and we grew up in Worcester, you grew up in Cambridge. Everybody was everybody to us. The white boys is the white boy, the white girls is the white girls. It was all like this. Nobody looked at each other like, oh, you're different. I had so many white friends who went to their mom's house. They pulled up, cooked food. They came to my house.
Yeah, I agree.
You know what I'm saying? Like, it was different.
It was me.
It was regular stuff how we grew up. So in my head, it wasn't really forced on the part. I'm walking the street thinking like, oh wow, slavery, time. No,
it's crazy.
It's a society that's throwing it on top of.
And like, I'll put this like on. I agree with you too. Good. Well, so like, I'll put it on a personal level just for myself. I think I might have even shared this on the. I might have shared this on the first episode, but maybe I didn't. Of just saying like, I just remember going through like middle school, just like not knowing my place. I was like, I mean, there wasn't like a big like African community that like I grew up with around Nigerians or West Africans, but just in terms of just Black people, just like I didn't like really feel like I fit. Like I would hang out, but like it didn't feel like comfortable. Like we weren't like in the same things. Like it was just like a completely different vibe. And like I had a lot of trouble really finding my place. Like when I look back at my best friends, like just growing up in my same neighborhood, like one was a Spanish kid, another was an Indian kid, and then eventually, you guys know Sean and Tommy. Like I eventually then going into 8th grade, going into high school, I hooked up into them. Like that's where I really started to find my own. I'm just like, I used to be disappointed. I remember, I'll never forget it. This one kid that lived in my neighborhood, Black, he said, "Yo, Chopin, like, why don't you hang out with the goons?" And like I immediately thought, it's like, why are you referring to us as goons? Like, why is that the word? And like I probably like my sophomore year in high school or junior year. And I was like, why? Like, why? Like I didn't say it, but like I thought that was like the first thought that came to my head. It's like, why do we have to be like, no, I'm not gonna fucking chill with goons for one. And I'm just like, is that the lifestyle you want? Like is that like the lifestyle that's cool or what? It's like, if that's the lifestyle you want, you're not going to go too far. Like you're either going to end up in two places, and you all know the two places, either dead or in jail or 6 feet under.
Okay.
Like that's and like that happened. Like I went to school with kids that are like no longer, here with us, RIP, because they chose, the prison, or they chose to, have beef with so-and-so and get shot or get stabbed. And now, now their lives are over. It's like, that's not what I wanted for myself. It's just sad. And like, I would like go out of my way to like avoid those kind of crowds. Like growing, like I went to a big high school, and just knowing like, just keep your head straight. It's not, oh, just chill with white people because like you'll be safe. No, it's like I had all different kinds of friends, but I try to surround myself around the right people. And it's just one of those
and that's
things
not
where
even the
it's
truth.
just crazy.
You chill with white people, so you gotta be the safest.
Yeah, that's not the truth.
You got some
either.
white people doing.
But that's what people think. That's the
stuff.
perception. That's the perception.
Right.
That's how people will say it. Like like, oh, I'm so like, I'm just saying it as a perception. Of course, it's not true. I want to again clarify that we're not saying Black people are dangerous, because some people will then want to start to have their fucking put out their think pieces and shit about nonsense. But yeah, you go.
Yeah, I would say it's not. Yeah, that's facts. Go ahead.
No, I just want to say this real quick, City. Yeah, I agree. Black people are not dangerous. We are the most creative people on the planet, I believe.
Oh yeah, we're the society. We fucking run society.
However, I do firmly believe, no regrets about it, that we do have to look over our shoulder. We have to look over our shoulder for our sister and brothers, though. I firmly believe that. I firmly believe, though. Yes.
What do you mean? There was a look over our shoulder.
I'm sorry.
What do you mean by that?
What do you mean? What do you mean by that?
By our own brothers and sisters, we have to look over our shoulder, because not all Black people are for the cause.
Yep.
So we do have to look over our shoulder. I'll tell that to anybody. You know what I'm saying? Like, yes, we as Black people need to stick together, but we all have to remind ourselves, not everybody's on the same page. Not everybody's on the same agenda. So you need to look over your shoulder. Yes, it's your own sister or brother, but you need to look over your shoulder and make sure, like, hey, this person's not, on some other another type of agenda.
And that's the thing. We have to do it double. We have to to look over our shoulder of just like the person, like, you don't know, especially like going out. We went out to Ango, we went out to all these places. You don't know who could pull up on us and try some crazy shit. But then we also got to look over our other shoulder of the fucking other races, or how are they perceiving us? Is someone looking at us crazy? Is someone someone got their eye on us? Is, like, we have it double, where our, I guess you say equivalent, the white man doesn't have no issues, could go out and just be like, yeah, like basically they could feel like they could be like, have nothing, but they could say, no, who's gonna fuck with me? Like they go through this world just like as, everything's all rose petals and shit. So, but you're right. I just feel like that is a thing, and like that's why to bring this up, and I know you have it, Jules, the right to carry. I know you carry. I don't know if you carry, but I know you. I'm sorry if you don't want me to bring this up. You can always
no, go ahead.
Out. But like, I agree with you. Before before, like I was like, oh wow, Jules, you know, you really, but you're actually right. I think like it's good. I don't know, like, you know, I'm sure you obviously have it to protect yourself, obviously, but like that's the main reason why. And it's like, especially now in today's age, like you really need to fucking protect yourself. You never fucking, you could go to the movies, bro. You could be on a date at the movies and someone could just, whoever, any race could just fucking fire off. And you boom, if you're carrying something, or you know, like cops, usually cops like always carry something because like that's just them. But in general, like just a more common civilian, just for safety, like Plexico Burris, like you could say from, I don't want to like go into like his story, but I'm just saying it was a good episode. But just in terms of like, especially public figures, like when you have a lot to lose, of course, hell yeah, of course you're gonna fucking carry a fucking firearm with you, because like you have to protect yourself. And I feel like it's just for the black, like I feel like honestly us, like at the level we're at, we should probably too. Like I'm not pro or against guns, but I'm just saying, look at what happened in fucking Buffalo, New York. Like no one, like a white dude just came, we're fucking targets, like we're targets. So it's just as soon as we leave our homes, we're targeted. Like everyone's eyes are boom on us. They see us walking down the street. They're trying to make sure we're not gonna, like, John, I'm just fucking grabbing my phone. Like no one is talking to you. So it's one of those things where
Zimmerman,
you always
man. Yep.
Yeah, that too. You know, the Trayvon Martin. I can't believe that was 10 years ago or 10, 11.
Black
That's
people,
crazy.
I'm telling you, black people have it worse. Our own kind,
and then the other
the
side.
majority.
Yeah, that's what I really wanted to dig into this episode about.
People should carry. That's why I suggest everybody carry, because
I agree. I used to not, but I started to change.
Right now, in the whip. I don't care.
Oh wow!
Okay. You
I didn't. I thought you had it like in the safe at the crib or something. So you bring it with you everywhere? Sorry if you don't want to answer all those questions.
In the vehicle, but now
that's the plan.
Always in the vehicle.
Yeah, you know, you get the gag.
I didn't know that. Now I know when I'm riding with Jules that
Oh yeah, for sure.
That he has it, but
yeah, sure.
Guys, but I'm just like, I'll say this apart. I'll just say this now. We'll take a quick break and we'll just wrap this all up really quick. I mean, if anyone else has something to say before we jump on break.
City, go ahead.
If you have anything, we got about 2 minutes.
No.
That's you have anything? All right, so we'll just jump into a break and then we'll wrap up episode 22. So we'll be right back.
Real quick, I just wanted to say something because City asked me if I carry my firearm on me. The first time I had it on me, this is like 3 years ago. I went into a bar and I went in there, had it on me, whatever. So I go to the bouncer, I show him my ID. He looked at me. It was a black bouncer too. He's looking at me. He's like, you got it on you? I was like, yeah. He's like, yo, come with me. And then he brought me to his manager in the back. And the manager's like, nah, bro. Nah, it's like I know what time it is. And like he was cool about it. He's like, yeah.
And where was this? Was this in Worcester? Sorry, was this in Worcester? Okay.
This is, from where I'm from, audience. I'm from Worcester, Massachusetts. So, and then so I went back to the car. You had to put it away secure. You have to do it like a certain type of way or whatever, especially if it's loaded. So it's like it's crazy though. Like the gun laws in my state, I don't know about the other states, but the gun laws in my state are super strict. Like you have to have it in a certain compartment, locked in this, but the amount of bullets you can have in there. Oh man, it's crazy. But yeah, that's all I gotta say.
I hear you. Yeah, that's dope. I mean, have you ever felt like, we were at Envoy, you should have carried it with you there? Or I'm just saying in general, like, do you ever feel where do you feel like you need to carry it? Was a good question.
If I'm going like that, like if I'm gonna see you, yeah, definitely places like that, because you never know.
Never know.
You told me a story.
What about anywhere? You never know.
Like the basketball court?
Anywhere.
I feel, what's funny? I feel like, especially with the people me and City be hooping, I feel like that's probably like the places I would. But then it's like, I don't know, because again, in Massachusetts, it's so complicated.
Yeah.
If you're within like 500 or 250 feet of a school, you're
fucked.
Done.
Yeah.
Especially you're done.
You're
so
done.
like
Excuse me.
It's so complicated of where you can have it. So City, like saying anywhere, I can't really say that, because if me and you go hoop and we're 200 or 550 feet away from a school and something goes down, me and you are gonna be sitting in prison for a long time, City. So,
That's funny.
But yeah, it's
I hear you.
yeah, it's complicated, man.
I hear you. City, any final words before we head out?
I don't know. I'm just not a fan of guns.
I know. We've had this conversation before.
But for now, it's like
I'm not a fan.
It's kind of a have to for your best interest.
Yeah, I started to turn around on it a little bit. I started to just do my research and started to realize things.
And
this was before the Buffalo, New York thing too. And like obviously, this isn't going to be the last mass shooting either. Because it's never the last one. But I started to change where I'm just like shit, like, and like we go to these establishments and things like that, but. That's what it is, man. Just gotta, put your faith in the Lord and always just, hope for the best. Just be kind to people and stay away from crazy bullshit. But before, I'm gonna wrap this episode up. I just want to say, Jules brought up hooping. I won't talk about how Jules ducked me on hooping last week. You have something to say?
Jules, you weren't trying to play soap 1-on-1?
Cats did a vote and it was 3-1. It was 3-1. Scoop was the only one that said.
Audience, this is my expression. Somebody
Cat said they wanted to go to South Boston and Seaport instead of. You had your bag. We did a unanimous decision. All right, let me wrap up this episode on.
My dog Kendall. He said, no, let's get the day started. So I was like, oh, all right. Okay. All right. No, I'll give it to Chopay. See, I'll give it to Chopay. He said, you want to play? You want to play? You want to play? I said, yeah, I want to play. Then I asked Kendall. Kendall said, no. Let's get the day started. So I'll give it to Chopay. In the chat, he was acting scared in the chat.
No, in the chat. Because
in his face, when I put him in his face, he was like, nah. He said, yeah, I'll hoop. Let's go. Let's do it. Then Kendall said, nah, like, yo.
Because I knew, but I told you, because I knew we wanted to get the day started. So I said, please just arrive at 2 p.m. on the dot or before 2 p.m. I know, you have a long journey. I'm taking that into consideration. I'm not like poo-pooing on any of that shit. I'm just saying, like, I was like, we know that we want to. That was the word that came to me. That's the word that came to me when I was talking. But I'm not, because I know that like you guys gotta get ready, like all that. I know that, but I was like, if we really want to have a fun night, like we had to get it started. We could play for 30 minutes or an hour, 2 to 3.
I'll give it to Chopin.
I knew it, but
before we cut it off,
yeah.
If you got red candy, blue candy,
red
candy, blue candy. If you took the red candy, you become Chris Brown. You took the blue candy, you become Jay-Z.
What kind of question is this, man? I gotta think. Am I supposed to? Is this for me or?
Well, what kind of question is that?
Why do you ask?
Somebody just sent it to me. It popped up on my screen. I was like, the fuck.
Oh wow. Oh okay.
Who wouldn't want to be a billionaire? I don't understand that.
Chris Brown. Chris Brown got a nice lifestyle.
Chris Brown has a nice lifestyle.
Chris Brown has a nice life. I mean, he's been through a lot, but just in terms of Chris Brown, man.
Making mistakes. That's it.
But Hov has generational wealth. I'm not saying Chris Brown doesn't. He does. But I'm saying like,
no,
that's a billion.
Chris got. I mean, Chris may not be a billionaire, but Chris.
He got bread. He got. He's living.
Chris has been around for years.
Oh yeah.
Not for sure, bro.
I'm from Tampa.
His lifestyle's popping. But
EA is where on the side.
I have a beautiful family. I'm a billionaire. I'm the best in my field.
That was a great question.
Number one in my field. Like, there's nobody better than me in my field. Like, who wouldn't want to be that?
Chris can argue too. Chris can argue about his field.
And he's still young too. Honestly, young. I think Chris just turned 33, so he's still our age too. He's the best. He's the best fucking performer.
The best person is locked up right now.
Huh?
I said the best person in R&B is locked up right now.
So give Chris the title now. Since the best one, we're never gonna see him again. Since we're never gonna see. Okay. Since we're never gonna see Robert Kelly. Sorry, what's his middle name again? It just escaped me.
My man, free my dog, man.
Sylvester. Since we're not gonna see Sylvester, in the daylight anymore in society.
Come on,
live off the.
Let him on parole, man.
Yeah, we're not seeing him again. We're not seeing him again in our lifetime. So in his lifetime for sure.
Parole.
Great,
parole.
Yeah, for sure. But maybe we'll talk about R. Kelly someday. Go into a deep dive on him on the pod. But great episode, fellas. Man, I feel like we really got into it. This isn't going to be the last time we talk about shit like this. So I appreciate y'all, the honesty. I felt like everyone spoke from their heart and all that good shit. So. In terms of episode 22, APU as per usual. I guess we out. Have a great whatever time it is. Just enjoy life. to our audience. I'm just saying peace. So we out. Peace until next time.
Peace.
Girls just wanna have fun. We turning up. Someone wrote a runs. Someone pour a cup. Cause tonight we